Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all ages, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you hanging out with me on YouTube for a little bit. It's been a hot minute since I did a channel update, just kind of what's going on. I spend a lot of time on Twitch, and I don't spend as much time on YouTube as I should. Part of that's because the video editing side of things just makes me crazy and angry, honestly. It's an exhausting process. But some of it is my long-term strategy is still shifting. I'm in the middle of kind of this long, slow transition from still producing content on Twitch, but making and producing better quality and more rewatchable content for YouTube. Right? I'm slowly realizing that the stuff that I make, the little, when I go and I clip my little Twitch moments, like that's good for a week. Somebody will come along and watch that. But it's pretty uncommon, right, for people to come along and watch a replay of a game that I played 2.5 years ago. Like maybe somebody might, but the bottom line is they're not probably going to do that. So it's good for slow, steady content, but it's not great for rewatchability or long-term content, right? It's good short-term content. It's not great long-term content. So from a warships video perspective, one of the things that I've been working on, one of the things you're probably going to see me do in the near future, is some more kind of how to play stuff. I kind of trialed it out with those how to play videos for the German cruiser line, and by and large, those have been pretty well received. 6-7 months later, after some of those videos premiered, I'm still getting comments, I'm still getting feedback, I'm still getting people saying, hey, this helped me, thank you. And I think that there's tremendous value in that. One of the things that I tend to forget, that probably many veteran players of World of Warships forget, is that over time, we've been here forever. I instinctively know how to play this stuff, but there's a constant turnover in the player base. That's by design. We can argue the merits of that particular strategy in terms of wargaming and how they manage the game. But the reality is that it's there. And so I think having more resources to help people understand good practices, bad practices for certain ships, American destroyers, American heavy cruisers, Italian destroyers, whatever, like some kind of, here's some good tips and tricks for each of these ships. You know, let's talk through a build. Let's talk through how you might do this. And let's show you some gameplay, right? And that sort of thing. And I did that for the German cruisers, and those have been really well received. So I'm going to be doing, I want to be doing more of that. I got to work that into my schedule. So warships, still very much going to be a thing on the channel. I am considering, I have not decided, I am considering dropping the quick cuts altogether. When I first started doing that, it was a way to put out constant, steady content on YouTube, just to get noticed, right? Because at the time I started doing that, I had like 400 subs, right? And I've just ticked over 8,000, which thank you to all of you, by the way. It's been a long, slow, steady grind, and I do appreciate it. So let me know what you think about that. Like, I know some of you guys really enjoy the quick cuts, and I'm thinking maybe I'll just do 3 a week, and or just cut them out entirely. I'm not sure. I'm really looking for feedback on this one, guys. So let me know what you think. They're very quick and easy for me to produce. If you guys still enjoy them and you still want them, like, it does not take that long for me to go in and clip games out of Twitch and render them and upload them. Like, it's a pretty quick process, okay? Once, twice a week, I sit down and I can put up 3 to 5 games, and then I'm good for a while. So let me know. One of the things we're going to be doing on YouTube is you're going to start seeing more Hell Let Loose content. I've been slowly moving this way in Twitch, and you're going to start seeing more of it here on YouTube. That's a conscious choice. I really like HLL. I think the game has a lot to offer. The community is absolutely fabulous. I used to think that, man, I'm not going to get any better than the boats community, but I tell you, the HLL community is pretty damn close. If they're not there, they're like maybe a notch above or a notch below. Like, they're in the ballpark. Really, really good groups of people over there. So many people, when you zone into a server the first time, you know, we just had a free-to-play weekend, people trying to help you learn, right? And I love that aspect of the community. I love chipping in and helping be a part of that. So I want to do more HLL video content. My base idea to start with, just kind of, again, for regular produced content, short videos. 5 to 6 minutes, literally, I'm thinking, I'm probably going to call them like 5x5. 5 quick tips for X in 5 minutes or less, right? My 5 favorite German loadouts, my 5 tips for half-track placement, whatever, right? I'll come up with a million things. And then as we start that process, as I start producing those, you guys can come into the comments and say, hey, what about this? What about that? Make suggestions, right? It'll be great. I'm looking forward to doing that. Beyond those two things, I think the YouTube channel is really going to start, especially as I get the studio kind of wrapped up and more online, shifting. You're basically going to see three types of content here. You're going to see board games, live board game plays. You're going to see Hell Let Loose, and you're going to continue to see World of Warships. If you're interested in those three things, please stay. You're in the right place. I obviously have a pretty solid collection. I've framed this shot very carefully. You can't see all the clutter and crazy on the table in here. It's very much a working set right now because I'm in the middle of taking down the light fixture on the ceiling fan so I can run the crossbar across the top of the room so I can mount my overhead table camera, right? This has got to hang over the table. So I've got that nice top-down shot for shooting board games here. So progress still happening in the studio, believe me. And I'm getting, every day, every weekend I spend in here, I get a little closer and a little closer and a little closer. In fact, I've even got, I got these painted last weekend. These are the little mounting points for the cross rod, right? I painted them up so they would blend into the wall because this is the pretty sunset color we have on the wall in here. So anyways, again, dribs and drabs, we're getting there. I've actually had a couple people in to start play testing games on the table, stuff that I want to feature on the channel. I had a buddy over, we learned Undaunted Normandy a few weeks ago. So that's definitely coming. I guess for me personally, one of the biggest shifts is today as you're watching this is I am transitioning jobs, right? I'm still, for those of you that don't know what I do for a living, my regular 40-ish hour a week job, I'm a mechanical engineer in offshore oil and gas. I've been building offshore drilling facilities, well, offshore/onshore drilling rigs, drilling facilities for about 15 years now. I'm changing jobs. Still gonna be doing the same thing, I'm just changing companies. And as I move from one company to the other, yesterday was my last day at my previous firm. Tuesday next week will be my first day at my new firm. I'm not entirely positive 100% what I'm going to be doing, what the hours are going to be like, how involved it's going to be. So there may be some fluctuations, at least until I start to wrap my brain around things in terms of how much content's coming out and when and everything. It's going to take me a little while, I think, to work out a schedule. So just keep in mind, if content gets a little uneven in August and September, I do have some real life crap going on in the background. This is not my full-time job. As much as it might be fun for that to be, it's not a thing yet. So I'm still working on that and trying to get through that and determine how that's going to impact what I'm doing in here. Mostly, guys, I just want to say thank you. I started, I guess the first one of these little channel updates I did was about 15, 16 months ago. We were up on vacation in North Carolina, and I've liked doing these from time to time just to kind of bring everybody in on what's going on. And I just appreciate you guys. I never thought, when I first started this, you know, you look at people that do this for a living, right? The Jingles, to use a Warship example, the Mighty Jingleses of the world, right? 650,000 subs or whatever, and you know, he makes a video a day and probably lives fairly comfortably off of the ad revenue. You know, every time he puts something out, he gets 40, 50, 60,000 views, whatever it is. Me, I'm lucky to get 1,000, right? That's a good video for me. So it's a very different scale of things, but I've always had very realistic expectations, right? I have a paying job. I don't need the income from this. It would be lovely. When I met No Zoop for You years ago at a Warships event, he basically said, if you can get the YouTube channel to where it funds your IRA every year, you have one life. If your hobby is paying for your retirement, you have won, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a good way to look at it, right? Now, I'm not there. Just full disclosure, I probably make about 100 to 120 bucks a month on YouTube, right? I'm just not that big. And that's fine for me. Like right now I've been sinking most of that money into this space. What my hope is over the long term, I can build on that, right? And some of that is where we're going with the three choices of things that I want to do on YouTube. Warships content for me has gotten me to where I am in terms of growth, but in terms of financially, for whatever reason, I'm putting in, you know, I'm not getting a ton of financial return on it just because of how my channel is. Okay, fine. So now I want to transition into doing some other things. I want to expand. We're absolutely going to be bringing more board game stuff. And then the Hell Let Loose, I think, is something that I really want to do. Maybe that's just a vanity project for myself. But I look around at the other people doing HLL stuff on YouTube, and I think there's a lot of need for this because the game does not have a ton of... There's not really a good tutorial, right? If you want to learn how to play Hell Let Loose, you've got to look around, you've got to read and watch videos and read websites and so on and so forth. And so I want to try and help bridge that gap by, there's a lot of people out there with more game experience than me that have done how to play videos. I don't necessarily think that I have a whole lot to contribute to that. However, I have put in, I don't know, 800 hours at this point, whatever it is. And so I feel like I have some things I can contribute in terms of tips and tricks and things that I like and things that I've discovered and just try to help everybody who's interested become a little bit better player. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. Just a quick channel update. Wanted to bring you guys up to speed on some stuff going on in my real life, stuff going on in here, and kind of long-term plans for the channel. Let me talk down, comment down below. Let me know what it is that you want to see more of. Something I've done that you like, something I've done that you didn't like. All of this is good feedback, guys, right? All of it is good feedback. I will say that it's possible to word negative feedback in such a way that it can be received better, right? You don't want to come into somebody's comments and say, you're just dog shit or whatever, right? Like that's probably not the right way to start that conversation. But it's very possible to say, so you made this or you did this and I preferred this, I didn't like this style. However, whatever kind of feedback you've got, bring it on, guys. Bring it on. I would really appreciate it. In the meantime, I need to get out of here. It's late the night I'm filming this and I've got to get up and go to work in the morning. So you guys, y'all take care. Appreciate you being here. And I will see you either on a later video or over on Twitch. Take care.